Not Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
We having fun yet? I think so, right? We're having fun. Isn't it fun? Who's having fun? Raise your hand if you're having fun right now, because, man, I'm having the time of my life. Yeah, I think everything's perfect.
Wow, so
everything is awesome.
We've solved everything?
When you're part of a team.
So we're done?
Yeah, we're done.
Good night.
Yeah, it's great. I think Jeffy's microphone is off.
Everything's perfect. Remember, you just said everything's awesome.
Except for his microphone. Now everything's perfect. I think you're on now.
Hello.
No, you're not on. He's not on. So
Tell you what,
why would he be on?
May we just take a moment here? Once we figure out in there how to turn on his microphone, can we just write on like a 3x5 card, tape it to the wall behind the console, and call it done? Is that
wow?
Yeah, I like that.
You
I
like
like that.
There he is.
Let's please do
Thank
that.
you, Rob. Thank you, Rob.
It's not a surprise. I mean, every Wednesday, every Friday.
It's part of the deal. Hello?
Dates back since the late 40s. So. You know what I love is in a time of just incomprehensible occurrences. Is there anything more incomprehensible than what's been allowed to happen in Seattle, Washington right now? Oof. I mean, it is.
Saw it coming.
It's unreal. You just said Wednesday about the warlords. Now we have a warlord. Oh, he claims he's not a warlord.
Oh,
He's all about peace.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Raz? You know Raz? Raz is a good guy. Is it
Raz of Chaz?
No, it's Raz in Chaz.
Okay, Raz and Chaz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But police vacated a 6-block radius, and an armed mob rolled in to fill the vacuum. That's great.
Yeah.
And they actually declared they're no longer part of the United States of America. They have AK-47s. They have said that they want to take out every police precinct in Washington and Oregon. That's their goal.
Wow, a 2-state area, huh?
Mm-hmm. Supposedly, people who live in the neighborhood have to check in with them.
Of course.
They have to check in.
Of course.
Yeah, that's America, right? Or no, it isn't America.
No,
I'm sorry. That's not America. It's better than America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's better. Everybody wants to check in when they go and roll into their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's all a bunch of peace and love and harmony.
Business owners have to pay to enter.
Told you, I knew it.
Sounds like Mogadishu, doesn't it? The governor told the mayor to back down. They need a place to protest. What?
I just help.
And instead of immediately sending in an overwhelming force, whether that would include the National Guard, I don't know, a massive show of state troopers, local cops, the Navy SEALs, a United States Marine Corps, whatever. But rather than do anything to reverse this unfathomable situation, the mayor in the city and the governor of the state have instead attacked the president of the United States
Of course.
for saying anything about it.
Of course. I'm surprised. I thought the governor wasn't aware of it.
Yeah. In fact, he was just asked the other day.
At first, he feigned lying sack of crap.
They all
Oh,
lie.
I didn't know. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not aware of that.
You know, I've heard all my
I'd like to
life.
ask you about what's going on in Seattle. There's this thing called the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. What's your thought on that? The fact that the protesters have taken that over and now allowing people to go freely?
Hold on.
Pause it for a second.
There's a lot to get to.
Okay.
I was waiting for his response because we've got the issue of what's happening in Seattle on one side of the screen.
Freaking guy bouncing up and down might be worse than the actual situation itself.
You got the signer.
Okay,
the split screen.
The sign guy. What are you doing? Stop it.
A lot of
Got to
coffee
be
in
animated. We found out just through the animation. It's all about the animation.
Yeah,
though.
we did
A
find
lot of
that
coffee
out.
in this guy's veins for sure.
That's
What's
too
this?
much animation.
That's awesome.
Too much.
Okay.
This guy can't be real.
So try to pay
Right.
attention to the question and answer if you can, but you will be so distracted if you're watching this right
all right,
now.
let's hear it.
What's your thought on that? The fact that the protesters have taken that over and not allowing people to come and go freely? And then regarding the National Guard.
Well, that's news to me, so I'll have to reserve any comment about
he's
it.
dancing.
I have not,
Well, he does
I have
it.
not
No way
heard
that's
anything
real.
about that from any credible source. Not that you're not credible, it's just that before I espouse an opinion, I should know of which I speak.
Keith, you mentioned having a follow-up.
What a douchebag.
Yeah, as far as the National Guard,
What a
how
lying
are you going to
sack.
keep them there? And if there is a takeover of a street in Seattle where they're barricading, keeping people out, the protesters are, would you want the Guard to be involved?
That's a hypothetical. Look, you've got to have safety. I'm sure that people will find a way to have public safety everywhere in the state. I'm confident of that. The National Guard is demobilizing. Over two-thirds of them were demobilized of yesterday. I don't know if they're completely demobilized at this point or not, but if not, that'll be shortly, I believe.
Oh, good.
Okay, I don't know who's worse, Inslee or the
signer,
the jumping signer.
It's got to be the most outrageous one yet.
Wow, that was bizarre.
But you don't need the National Guard or anybody to go in there and root out what's happening there in Chaz.
He's confident everybody's safe in Washington.
Well, but they're going to eat themselves because yesterday, boy, they were at each other's throats already. It's like day 2. Play that audio of a couple of the leaders having a conversation.
You know what the thing is? You have hijacked it. You have taken the meaning away.
You cannot portray the image and make the image because of you.
What you like, go for it. Don't try to shut the black community out.
Don't shove the black community out.
No, but
he's black. What color am I? Watch this.
She said I'm not black. What am I?
The thing about it is, the bickering and back and forth. What kind of change do you get from bickering and back and forth? Matter of fact, let me take this mother ass off. What kind of change do you get from bickering back and forth? We can all check this out. I'm not done talking, boy. I'm not done. Granny Francis on the mic. I'm not done. You won't let me talk. I got the mic.
They're in good hands with these people.
Oh yeah. What?
This is unreal.
Is that Nell Carter running the show? 6 feet, man.
Wow.
It's not even funny.
It's not.
It's
not.
They're going to destroy themselves in a matter of
pathetic.
hours. Send in somebody to pull them
I can't
off
believe
of
this
each
is
other.
America. I can't believe it's the United
not.
States
It's
of
Chaz.
America. Well, okay. It's near America. It's very close.
Well,
it's surrounded by America.
It's the Capitol Hill Auto
Chaz.
Zone. Or autonomous zone.
Yes,
Or,
auto
I always
zone.
want to call it Auto Zone, man.
It's short for autonomous.
Yeah.
So let's call it the Auto
Let's call
Zone.
it the Auto Zone, man.
I mean, it's supposed to. They expect it to be some sort of utopia, and
It looks like a real utopia.
Good luck,
so
God
far,
bless,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're going to be tearing each other up and eating each other.
Oh yeah. And then
unless somebody goes in there and does something. And the president has said, if you're not going to do this, I will.
With what, a tactical nuke, as somebody suggested yesterday?
With the National Guard, the Marines, the Navy
It's gonna get
SEALs.
ugly.
I don't care who you do it with. Just do it with somebody.
Well, Jay Inslee just said we've cut down 2/3 of the forces available to us right now.
Jeez.
He's acting like, man, this
That's
guy.
unbelievable. It is.
Well, they're just going to let them stand.
Unacceptable.
Right? They're going to. I agree, but
unacceptable.
these people in charge are just going to let them stand. And if you don't shut the first one or two down, the other cities will follow.
Right? Oh, you're so right.
No
the
question.
other cities will follow.
No question.
So now you're looking at, I mean,
Portland has already tried to do this.
We talked about warlords and gang lords. Good luck driving remember the days when you used to be able to drive the interstates and not stop?
Right.
You'll be stopped.
Right. Oh,
You'll
yeah.
be stopped.
They're already
You're gonna pay your
stopping people
tolls.
going into that area.
Yeah, you're going to pay your tolls, and you're going to, if you want to get in and deliver goods, you have to be guarded by our people. I mean, it's
carrying around
insane.
AK-47s, I thought that was a really intimidating, awful, horrible thing to do. Even though you can do it, you shouldn't do it. And, there are times when I would agree with that. Mm-hmm. Like maybe you don't take your AK-47 to church. Maybe. If it can fit in your the holster.
Is that the only example you could come up with?
Yes, it's the only one. And I'm not even positive of that one.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I'm good with that.
I'm not even sure of that one.
I know.
But now they got these douchebags out there carrying around AK-47s, and it's fine.
Yep, it's okay.
It's peaceful. They're doing a great job. What? They're wonderful. This is great. It's Chaz. Don't you love Chaz?
I know. And when it happens, when it happens, and it's probably inevitable that it's going to happen. It's going to be ugly.
In a worse gang city, how about like Los Angeles or New York? It'll be wonderful then when you've got the street gangs running the town. That'll be nice.
No problem.
That'd be great.
Everything will be great.
You know, I've heard my whole life. I've believed all my life that the United States would not and could not fall from a foreign power. The biggest threat has always been falling from within. And I mean, if this isn't the first signs of doing that,
I know.
I don't know what is.
Can you believe some of the things we have to talk about?
No, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Unreal.
There's a fantastic book that was written in 1969 called An Enemy Hath Done This. And it's by former Agricultural Secretary Ezra Taft Benson. Yes, he was Ag Secretary, but in full disclosure, he's also the head of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I consider him a prophet.
Did he carry an AK-47?
He did not carry an AK-47. But he did warn us about communism.
He warned us.
And like-minded groups like this that would bring down this country. Back in 1969, it was hard to imagine that, really. I mean, we just had the riots of 68, but I don't think it was this bad then. I don't remember the Chaz happening in 1968.
Right.
It's happened now.
Now, they did shut down cities, though.
They were there was a lot of
parts of
rioting
cities and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, there was. It was bad. But when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, it was hard to imagine. But
even in the mean streets.
Yes, even in the mean streets. Yes, even in the mean streets of Helena, where you're ducking all the time. All the time. You know, you're doing the Marine crawl.
It was still
on your
hard
hands
to
and
believe.
knees. It was still hard to believe. Now, I could see it's happening so easily. It's happening right now.
Yeah, it is happening.
And you can see it go. You can see it go from 0 to 60.
Yeah.
In a split second now. I mean, we're already at 40. We've gone from 0 to 40 already. I mean, how much faster does this disintegration of our civilization have to go before we realize, wow, we better get a grip, and we better get a grip right now. But I don't know how you do that when we're so divided. When people hate Trump like they do, and they blame everything on him, when instead, man, this is coming from the left. This is all leftist garbage.
In a way,
that we're dealing with right now.
What we've been saying. Look, you fine. You take that part over there. We'll take this part over here, and we'll see who's successful.
Yes.
Let's go, Chaz. Enjoy your 6 blocks and whatever else you want out west. I don't care.
Enjoy your 6 blocks.
And you want to say that. You want to say
exactly.
that.
You do, but damn it, this is America. I don't want that to happen. Unless we're going to divide it up and say, okay, liberals, you take Washington, Oregon, and California. We'll take Texas. In fact, just bring all the conservatives down here, and we'll do only Texas. You take the rest of the country, and we'll beat your butts into the ground in industry, in productivity, in freedom, in every single way imaginable. Yeah. We'll pound you into the dirt.
While you guys are getting triggered over the word police.
Right.
We'll be over here dominating world industry.
Yep. We'll be trading with other nations. We'll have plenty of energy and power. You guys will try to make the wind and solar thing work, and you'll be out of energy completely. And you'll be begging for us to help you.
And someone will.
And I don't know. Not in our agreement. Not in my agreement.
Really?
Yeah, don't. Because part of the agreement is when you collapse, don't come whining to us.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't come whining to us because we're not going to do anything.
Even if I had a truckload that I wanted to sell?
I don't care. Nope. Don't come whining to us. You got California. Go out there and maybe do some offshore drilling.
I mean, you signed.
We want it to look nice from the beach.
You signed right here.
Yeah.
That's the agreement.
That's
okay?
right.
You signed.
That's right. So, see ya. Wouldn't want to be you. And that's where we're not you. All right. Let me tell you about a great way to keep your hair. If you've been losing hair and you're starting to freak out about it, there's no need. Just go to Keeps. Keeps.com/Pat. Keeps, Keeps, offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products on the market. These are the real deal, and they cost a lot less, obviously, than the brand names. So all you have to do, don't even have to leave your home for this. You don't even have to leave your home for this. Okay, there was no...
Oh, I thought that was
I thought I was going to get a little guitar riff every time I said that. So you just go online, answer a few questions, snap some pictures of your hair, and post those, and then a doctor reviews all your information and will recommend the right hair loss treatment for you. Then it's shipped discreetly to your door. It's just that easy, and we're going to get you started by giving you half off your first order. Go to keeps.com/Pat. That's keeps.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. The mainstream media, too, is what's interesting to me on all of this, because they've sided with the anarchists and the Marxists and the Chaz group. I don't understand it. But for some reason, they're all about all of the violence. Listen to the spin on what's happening in Seattle from the New York Times. On Wednesday night, President Trump tried to portray the scenes in the city as something more sinister. Wait, they just took over 6 blocks of an American city, and he tried to portray them as something more sinister? What? How much more sinister can it get than that?
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
What a...
He called for the government leaders to crack down on the protesters, declaring on Twitter that domestic terrorists have taken over Seattle. Exactly.
Well,
that's exactly
what
what happened. That's exactly what happened. He tried to portray them. Unbelievable. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine for a minute the New York Times reaction if during Obama, some militia group, some right-wing militia group took over part of Dallas, Texas, and declared it autonomous? They'd be calling them domestic terrorists. They'd be called an armed militia, anti-government radicals, racists. I mean, but they're fine. They're fine with these people. How can it be? So the Times continued. He also made Antifa claims. Despite claims by President Trump and Attorney General William P. Barr, there is little evidence that loosely organized anti-fascists are a significant player in protests. There's all kinds of evidence that Antifa is part of this, and a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where are these people getting all of their money for the things that they're doing in Seattle? Where are they getting the money for the medical tents that they've set up and the free medical care they're giving to people on street corners? Where are they getting the money for the food that is being set up and given away for free? As they're trying to win the hearts and minds of the people, because they know they're going to need something because they're falling apart already. I mean, 2 days and they're already at each other's throats.
And they need food, they need water.
They need food, they need water, they need everything. And so they're trying to ingratiate themselves by offering free medical care right now and free food to people. Well, where are you getting the money for that? Somebody's paying for that. Are these poor people paying for that?
No.
I don't think so. No, I think, somebody's involved with that. Antifa, George Soros, I don't know who. Somebody.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but you're not planting fields on 3rd Street.
Right.
It's not the commune
in downtown Seattle.
Area.
Are you sure?
Well, no, I'm not. No.
Okay, thank you. Because how many times have you been to 3rd Street in Seattle? How do you know that's not like a cornfield in Iowa?
I don't know.
You don't
I apologize.
know. You don't know.
I apologize.
Oh, you piss me off, Jeffy. Just acting like you so knowledgeable about Seattle all of a sudden.
I already said I'm sorry.
Do you even know what kind of...
They might be growing wheat and barley there right now.
Wait, what kind of crops do they grow in Seattle? Do you have any idea?
Corn and beans.
Corn and beans.
Yeah.
There it is.
Corn and beans.
Oh, wait, was George Bush trying to do a trade deal with Chaz?
Yes.
Pledge to the president.
First, it was Mexico.
That we would work together to ensure a smooth transition to full trade in dealing with sensitive issues such as corn and beans.
Remember back in the day how just sensitive people were about corn and beans. I remember the corn and bean riots of 2006.
I thought we had passed that time.
No.
We're back.
No, we let it fester, and now
This
we've got
time.
Chaz trying to grow crops on 3rd Street, like you said.
Right. Too sensitive, man. That's what set this whole thing off, was the corn and bean agreement.
Boy, hindsight 2020, am I right?
You're right. When you're right, you're right. Jeez. So, anyway, just to finish up on the mainstream media and their leftist allies, it's how do we come together when they hate Trump so much that he can't even mention that, hey, you might want to take back Seattle. I don't know. Maybe we don't let him have that. Maybe we don't let him do that. It's call me crazy, and they do. They bashed him for it. Trump said, "Take back your city now. If you don't do it, I will. This is not a game." Mm-hmm. And Durkin, the mayor of Seattle, responded with, "Make us all safe. Go back to your bunker." Oh, God.
I mean,
that's another thing. That bunker thing is unbelievable to me. They still won't let that go. Jeez. Meanwhile, one of the insurgents said, I like this too, the more we encourage and focus on the race thing, the greater our attention is not focusing on the fact that this is class warfare. Thank you for admitting that. So he's saying, can we stop doing the race thing? Because it's not about that. It's about class warfare. Because these are Marxists.
Yeah.
And their goal is Marxism. This is a 28-year-old self-described anarchist named Fredericks. So now we finally get down to it.
And he calls himself. I mean, it's self-described. He calls himself an anarchist. So it isn't just some mystical thing.
Right. This isn't Trump saying, hey, that's an anarchist. This is him saying, hey, I'm an anarchist.
I am. Me.
So thank you, Fredericks, for telling us that it has nothing to do with George Floyd. It doesn't have anything to do with systemic racism. It has everything to do with Marxism and the fundamental transformation of America that was promised us by Barack Hussein Obama. And they're just trying to put the finishing touches on that right now. Man. By the way, yes, I was telling you a few minutes ago that rapper Warlord Raz denies that he's a warlord.
Really?
Raz Simone. He says the takeover's been nothing but peaceful. So
okay.
So it's it's good. Well, what about the AK-47s? Those are instruments of peace, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are just here to help us keep the peace. Yeah. Anybody who mouths off, we'll just shoot them in the head.
And people should be able
to
come and go as they please, right? You don't need to set up like walls or checkpoints or have
No, we got to make
guards.
sure that everybody coming through is peaceful. We don't want to, let any police officers slip through.
I thought everybody should be
that.
welcome. I don't know
Well,
why.
everybody, but the bad people. Anybody who is a Trump supporter, anybody who is a law enforcement official, anybody who is part of the old government. We can't have any of that. No. Anybody who's an entrepreneur, we don't want that. We don't want your capitalist bourgeoisie in here, right?
Yeah, we're trying to grow crops on 3rd Street.
Thank you. We got the wheat and barley finally starting to sprout up through the concrete.
Don't
the corn and beans are on 4th.
Oh, okay.
They're on 4th
Street. Don't walk on the seedlings, all right?
Right.
Go on the sidewalk.
Thank
Streets
you.
occupied.
Yeah. And don't bring us any of your bougie sauce.
No, seriously, I'm all for that, actually.
I know you are.
I'm all for that. Let's build walls against that. Just keep those bougie sauce out.
And you'd be amazed at all the things that qualify
as bougie sauce. You aren't lying. I'd be
Jeffy.
happy to make that list for you.
I mean, Chick-fil-A sauce qualifies as bougie sauce.
Nasty.
So Seattle doesn't
It's delicious.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Delicious.
Seattle doesn't want our government involved and Trump involved. Maybe they would be good with the nation of Italy sending over their police force because this is how they deal with the unruly protesters over there. You make contact with them. Watch this. Watch what happens in Italy when Antifa makes the slightest bit of contact. They've been warned. There's no audio on this, but yeah, it's there you go. Okay.
That's not funny.
No, it is not.
I don't know. I was laughing at a joke I was thinking of from last night.
Really?
No,
yeah,
because I mean, this is very funny to me. Because look at the Antifa guys just run down the street away from.
Do
the
they
cops.
literally call themselves Antifa or whatever in Italy? Do we know?
Yeah.
That would make sense there.
Antifa.
They've actually had a fascist
rule.
government.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, we have not over here. We have not and do not. But wow, they really went after it.
Yeah.
Watch that again. That's amazing. I mean, they let them sneak up, creep up ever closer, and then the batons come out.
All right.
And
Antifa in Italy. There we go. Comes up to the cops there slowly. Don't touch.
You
Don't
suck.
you
You
touch
suck.
nothing. Don't touch nothing.
All right.
Oh, game over.
And the thing is, they're trying to provoke that.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
want that.
Yes,
they
they
want
do.
that to happen, so they have the visual. Look at these fascist bullies! Yep. Look at these Nazi stormtroopers!
And that's what I'm afraid of in Seattle and other cities
So
when
am I.
we send in whatever military
But I'm sorry,
we're going to do.
tough. We've got to do that. I mean, we got to send in the National Guard, and they need to be armed, and they need to root these people out, and this has to be stopped in this country. It's got to be stopped, right? I know that's such a hateful, hate-mongery thing to say as a monger in hatred right now.
Right.
But call me crazy. I just kind of think the United States shouldn't have little factions of warlord areas.
Are we still on the air?
Yeah, right.
Are we?
He thinks he's talking up air right now.
Okay.
I know that's pretty radical thought, right?
It is.
Pretty radical
It is.
thought. Oh, man. When we should allow them to just loot and riot and seize control of certain
we certainly have.
places. And we have.
Congratulations.
And we have.
I know.
Did you ever think that looting would be acceptable? That when people looted people in minority areas, minority-owned businesses, and completely destroyed them, people would say, they're expressing themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's justified.
It's justified.
There's a great tweet Thomas Sowell had that basically addresses this point.
I love Thomas Sowell. He's so brilliant.
Yeah. Look at that.
So he tweeted out, let's see, have we reached the ultimate stage? I mean, this is a stupid question. We all ask this kind of things because we can't wrap our minds around it. Have we reached the ultimate stage of absurdity where some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, while other people are not held responsible for what they themselves are doing today?
And obviously.
There it is, man.
Brilliant.
I mean, obviously.
And when obviously we have reached
we sure
that.
have.
And then some.
Oh, yeah.
So if you are white today, nearly 200 years, since slavery was eradicated from the United States.
1619
That's your
There
fault.
you go. Yeah.
But the looters who looted and destroyed buildings, they're not at fault for anything because they, I don't know.
They're owed
had
that.
a tough.
They're already owed that.
They're owed that.
You had already taken stuff from them for years and years and years. It's not about it's just about the taking. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't, and the big
what was
box
it? What kind of
stores,
taking was
it?
it?
It was the 1619
symbolic
project.
taking?
Symbolic, yeah.
Symbolic
yes.
taking. That's what it is.
That's what she, homegirl from 1619 said, yeah. Homegirl from, I can't remember her name, whatever her name is. From the
I know who you're
1619
talking
project.
about.
The Pulitzer Prize winner,
Right.
1619 project,
Yes.
whatever,
But you're right. It was symbolic taking.
I just
unreal.
I'll give her credit and think of her name here in a second.
I keep using that word. I don't think it means.
No,
what
it doesn't.
think
I know.
Because
I
every
know.
day it gets more and more real, doesn't it?
It sure does.
All up in here.
It sure does.
With my real ones.
So when do we actually get around to harvesting 3rd Street, Jeffy? Like when is?
First of all, I didn't realize they were doing it.
Okay.
I didn't think they were doing it. So you're gonna have to show me some proof.
Okay. So great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. There's just so much that we're trying to figure out some way to organize it all into a coherent presentation. I don't think there's any way to do that. Because I've never seen any. While there has been plenty to talk about for about, 15 straight years.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got into talk radio, there were some days that were slow. You remember this, Keith?
Oh, absolutely.
Once in a while, you were struggling a little
slow
bit.
news day.
Yeah.
It's like,
We used to say slow news day.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely obsolete.
No,
now.
that is
that's never happened.
You don't use that phrase.
And then no, you don't. And you'd come up with bits that you no longer exist in today's world. Those recordings have been torn up and burned.
Yes.
They no longer exist.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right.
If you heard them live,
no, you didn't really hear them.
You didn't really hear them.
You thought you were hearing something that you actually didn't.
That's correct.
All right, let me share some tweets with you from Carolina Bulldog. I seriously think we should just let the Chaz play out. They'll begin to eat each other in short order. They already are. True. When it's over and the mayor and governor come looking for money to clean it up, tell them to pound sand.
Right.
That is tempting.
Yes, it is.
Phaedra tweets, why not just cut off communications, power, water, and other utilities? That's what they should do. Yes. Cut off oil and gas pipelines, supply lines, and all municipal, county, state, and federally funded service, and treat autonomous zones as hostage situations. They also, the other thing they were doing other than medics on street corners and some free food or snacks or whatever they were giving out, they were also... they also set up garbage pickup. Can you believe that? So who's paying for that?
Right.
Who's paying for the garbage pickup? Come on now. It's not just a bunch of ragtag people going, hey, you know what? I got a couple extra bucks. Let's do some garbage service for the whole area.
I got a sanitation truck in here.
I don't know about you, but I pay $40 a month for that to come twice a week. So if you're paying for everybody in a 6-block radius, that's gonna cost you some money.
No doubt. I'm going to have to go with your company, I think, because I think I'm paying a little bit more.
Are you paying more than that?
I think so. I don't
know.
I don't
too.
remember.
Maybe I'm fooling myself. I don't know. The Chaz unemployment director tweets, is there one already? Chaz is being allowed to exist as a commune to prove communism will fail after a week. Either that or the liberal leadership is scared. Comrade Snoobage tweets, do the rioters in the Chaz Seattle zone realize they're playing the part of the villains in The Dark Knight?
No.
Taking over a city, going against police, starting their own kangaroo court of criminals. Don't know if I need popcorn or more guns.
Oh, yeah. They talked about this one guy who's there on the scene talked about how somebody inside Chaz was accused of stealing something. And so they stood around him, this angry mob, and one guy had a baseball bat in his face. So it's already, it's fun. It's fun in Chaz.
Yeah, the immediate vigilante justice will be great for them, I think they're going to enjoy that a great deal.
Well, you just got to keep everybody in line.
Yeah, right.
So they're peaceful.
Guy in the hallway tweets, in Washington State, our governor somehow didn't know about Chaz, yet the news agencies in Spokane did. Yes, that's right. Also... from Gender McGenderface, these signers, like the one in the Jay Inslee speech yesterday, these signers are progressively becoming weirder and weirder. One guy looks like he's directing a symphony. This last one is dancing to rap music. If I were governor, I'd hire a stripper in a bikini to twerk while signing.
Let's be clear. So would I.
I'm really surprised.
So would
really?
I. Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Jeffy running for governor of Chaz.
And then at the same time, they're signing and maybe dancing around a pole. Maybe just put some links up to the websites.
Really?
It's just some of your sites. They're just to promote them on air as you're speaking. Just whatever.
Oh, you're a marketing genius.
Right.
You know that?
What?
Talk about your website. Slip that in there.
Snoobage.com.
Wait, what? Not going there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Good times. I wonder what Chaz Bono is thinking right now. Always hearing about
They've
this.
co-opted
right?
his...
His. Yeah, just
there. They contract...
Oh, that's good.
They stole their name. That's what happened. I like this meme that's been going around. If 2020 was a swing, Look at this.
We've had the slide that's a cheese grater.
It'd be
now we've got
swinging into a brick wall.
Again, the year not half over.
Mm-hmm. We're getting close, though.
Mm-hmm. Listen to you, Mr.
We're getting close.
Optimist over there.
Yeah. Also, we have a little shot of, is this Al Sharpton getting into his private plane? This is great. I don't know if he's just renting a private plane or if he owns one.
Does it matter?
Either way, first of all, he cares about the environment.
If you're going to a funeral, you got to fly first class.
Well, you have to.
Well,
and beyond first class, you got to go private. Look at that. I mean, that's a nice ride.
At that.
That's a nice ride, boys and girls. Yeah, jeez.
That's a nice suit.
Yeah, he's worried. He's worried about income inequality.
Look over the land.
He's got to
get onto my.
He's got to get back to New York. He can't. He came to Houston just to do the funeral. And
hypocrites.
And just remember, it was last year. It was reported he takes $1 million salary from his charity. That's $1 million salary from his charity.
Yeah, and he's not buying a plane. No way. He's got those. That's being paid for. Either by his charity or somebody that is paying. There's no way he's paying
by
for that.
His charity. I bet you that's right.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy
I know.
is just—it's too much. It's too much. David Harris Jr. Oh, this is awesome. You're gonna love this. David Harris Jr. is a black man who has a message for white people that I think you'll appreciate a great deal. Listen to this.
Friends, I am seeing something that is completely disturbing to me. And when I say to me, I mean as an American first, then I mean as a member of the black community. I'm seeing people, white people, that are getting down on their knees and asking for forgiveness for nothing that they ever did wrong.
Thank you.
It is disgusting.
Yes.
And I understand so many people out there in the white community, you want to say, I'm not a racist. You feel this guilt. You feel guilty over the color of your skin. And you feel guilty because the mainstream media and black folks want you to believe that oppression is your fault, that racism is your fault, that all the injustices that black folks have ever gone through is your fault. Well, they are wrong. They are dead wrong. You don't have to feel guilty for anything. If you're a good person, if you're somebody that treats people with respect, with dignity, you care about your family, you care about others, you may not even see color. All of this is just totally foreign for you. So many messages I'm getting from people that say it's foreign. I'm not a racist. I've never looked at people like that. That is the majority of America, friends. Yet we've got a mainstream media that is hell-bent on creating racial division in this country, and it's disgusting. It disgusts me, and it's sad that so many good people out there feel the need to say, I'm not a racist, and I'm sorry for my ancestors, and you are actually getting down on your knees in front of black folks. Friends, those black people are racist. I'm just going to say it like it is. They are the real racist. And you don't kowtow to racist of any color.
Boy, no
kidding. As if manna from heaven. Wow. You could tell he felt that so strong. He's practically he is in tears at the end.
Yeah. And
it's amazing.
That's only a small portion of that video. We're going to post the whole thing right now at Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Where would that be?
At Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
All right, good. There's a rumor that you can also go to YouTube and see some stuff.
It's Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher.
No. I was thinking of...
no, he's talking about
YouTube.com/Pat Gray.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah. Well, you have a
YouTube channel as well?
Is that one of your
Chewing the Fat?
Is that one of your Jeffy sites?
No, unfortunately. Although it could turn into one soon. You never know.
Now, right now, I understand today, and you can't guarantee this forever, obviously. It's free. Is that true?
You know what?
I've heard that.
I just got to open up the email because I wasn't sure if it was going to be today, but I just got the email.
Still free?
The YouTube channel and the podcast.
That is super generous.
Today.
Super generous.
Free. All you have to do is just subscribe.
But your manager might
it's free. You don't know.
Change
you don't know
that
if it's
deal
going to change
at any moment.
Yeah, you don't know.
I'd love it if you subscribe to the Pat Gray channel as well, and to the podcast. That way you get the notifications and all that as soon as it's ready. You ding on your phone or whatever obnoxious alert there is.
Why is it obnoxious?
Putin on a Ritz tweets, I've found that along with coffee, the Pat screech is what keeps me going every day.
Oh, the Pat screech.
Do it again. Come on.
Are you a trained monkey now?
Hold on.
I know, right?
Hold on a second. Putin on a Ritz. Hang on a second. We have a video that a montage of the media talking about white people.
Exactly what
this will elicit the Pat screech.
That's possible.
I am very
exactly what
on.
David was talking about though in his video.
Let's see it.
Well, if you think you're not racist, you could be right. But in this day and age, that's simply not good enough.
What I did wrong in 2016?
Pause it for a second. Wait.
Oh no, we're not gonna make it.
If I think I'm not racist,
You're right.
I might not be, but that's not good
It's
enough.
not good enough.
What do you?
It's not good enough.
Start this over. I mean, that's incomprehensible. First of all,
Racist. You could be right. But in this day and age, that's simply not good enough.
What I did wrong in 2016?
Wow.
Is I overestimated white people.
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
Those white guys, those middle-aged, boring, nerdy-looking white guys.
And white people have been probably woefully late to this conversation.
But I'm not willing to let white voters off the hook.
Do you believe that white folks actually care about racial injustice?
It doesn't appear that we do. I mean, the status quo of our society is racism, and it's comfortable for white people.
Well, because we're white, we have had privilege, even the poorest of us.
I sit here as a privileged white woman. I cannot imagine, but I appreciate you educating us.
It's very hard to talk about the issue of race. White people particularly don't know how to do it.
I call it white mansplaining.
This idea that white people are objective on racism, which is outrageous. We are the least objective.
The most dangerous kind of white privilege is to think that we can sit this justice struggle out.
Next, why it's time to check our bias at the door and lean into the discomfort that is necessary for real change.
It is incumbent upon people who hold the power in this society to help to do that, to do the heavy lifting. And guess who that is? Who is that, Chris?
White people.
Why don't you start, Chris? Chris, you start.
I don't talk much, but when I do, I make it count.
Oh,
Pat, how you doing over there? That's a good video, right?
It's a great
kind of
video.
sums up the media right there in 2
Kinda
minutes.
does. Just makes you want to say, "Shut up!" That's what it makes you want to say.
It does.
And more than that, in fact.
know.
Like shut the something up. That's what. It makes
How
you
long's the
wanna
delay in there? It might be a good time to revisit that.
say. I mean, these self-loathing white people.
Oh man, it's brutal.
You go ahead and flog yourselves, all of you. Just go ahead and flog yourselves. That and do it every day, until you bleed to death, because you don't deserve to live. Obviously, you're those kinds of awful, awful people. Speak for yourselves, because the rest of us, we've been talking about race nonstop my entire life.
Thank you.
Don't tell me white people haven't been part of this conversation.
Wow.
It's all we've done is talk about race.
But wait, no, time has stood still since Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. Time has stood still. Nothing has moved forward since then.
Martin Luther King would absolutely despise and loathe what's going on right now. He would not be okay with this. This was not his message.
No, it was not.
Okay, but you're white, so you're not allowed to.
I'm not
say-
even
you
allowed
can't
to speak that.
Yeah,
That's
come
true.
on, man.
That is true.
But wait, you just told me I need to be a part of the conversation, media.
Yeah.
I'm so confused
And then
right
when you
now.
are, they tell you to shut up.
Right.
You don't know what you're talking about
Yeah,
because
he
you can't imagine the black experience.
Wait a minute. In that same clip, Don Lemon, he said that that's white-splaining. Oh, that's white-splaining.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that clip, what was he saying to Chris Cuomo? You white people need to start talking. Oh my gosh, man!
Whose fault is it? Yeah. Well, look.
It is incumbent upon people who hold the power in this society to help to do that, to do the heavy lifting. And guess who that is?
Who is it? Who
is that,
Chris, tell
White
us.
people.
Yeah. But earlier in the same montage, he says, well, that's white-splaining.
Give you a little bit of a good feeling here, just to end the segment, maybe.
Yeah.
an official in Georgia who stood up to Chris Cuomo and his bull crap on this happens to be on the topic of voter suppression.
Yeah, because on Tuesday, there were some voting issues in Georgia, long lines, all this good stuff. And so this interview, he sits down with a guy who runs the elections in Georgia. Chris Cuomo tries to catch him, and says, look, what's going on there? And this official says, look, man, we're not suppressing the vote. We've been early voting for weeks. We've been doing mail-in ballots. We've had Saturday voting. Okay, we've done everything we can. So Chris Cuomo strikes out there, and then he tries again to pin him down on something else.
I agree with you that you knew that you had anticipation of a huge turnout. You had to prepare for it. Doesn't seem you did. And it seems convenient that if you're going to be able to not handle the demand, it's nice that you do it in places that tend to vote Democrat.
Oh, shut up.
In those counties where people tend to vote Democrats are run by Democrats, and they are the ones who set the elections boards. They are the ones who hire the staff. We have been saying for years there's problems in Fulton. Fulton County has paid hundreds of thousands of fines for violating election rules.
Yeah, it's just,
somebody finally stands up for themselves.
I think the same person who prepped Chris Cuomo for this interview about voting is the same person that prepped Bill Maher for his interview with Dan Crenshaw, who put him in this place as well on voting.
Right.
The Fulton County, where this problem is, that's the city of Atlanta. That is a Democrat stronghold for decades. They're the ones that screwed this up, not the Republicans that run the state, Chris.
When did long lines at the voting booth become voter suppression? Okay, we got a heavy turnout.
That's a good question.
And it used to be a heavy turnout.
Yeah.
We had such a heavy turnout, you had to wait 45 minutes to vote. Now that's voter suppression.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I pulled up and I was going to vote, but the line was so long, I just decided to go back.
Oh my gosh! Did you sue the government?
No, my vote was suppressed.
Can I tell you that's your fault for not staying there because they would have kept it open until you made your vote. You just didn't feel like it.
No, I was suppressed because it was a long line.
Okay, right. That's right. Now I understand. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there were more people there. Unbelievable.
That sure is.
Unbelievable.
Sure is.
I guess the long lines at Disney are ride suppression.
Yeah.
Is that what those are?
Amusement park suppression.
They really don't want you to get on those rides.
Network.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
Feel good day on a feel good week and a feel good year in United States of America. Welcome to it. Thanks for being here.
Beautiful day in the Republic of Chaz as well, I'm sure, as the sun rises out west.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I'm Pat Gray. Also here is the other guy. Some people call him Keith Malinak. And Jeffy has joined us out of his bunker now. Talk about somebody being in their bunker. 68 days, 70 days? How many days?
80.
80 days. Wow.
Yeah, right. 80, maybe just less than 80, because I came in that Friday, which was the 78th day. So
okay, so you made it quicker than somebody took a balloon around the world, right?
Thank you.
Wasn't there a movie called Around the World in 80 Days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those two related? What you're saying there?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, they're distant cousins.
Is that me in a giant balloon, or
you said it?
No,
he didn't say anything.
You couldn't possibly get into a giant. Well, you might be able to get into the basket, but it ain't going anywhere. I think we know that.
All you got to do is untie the rope.
Yeah, and then it just sits there.
Why would it?
I don't know. It's physics. It's physics. I don't make universal law. I just live by it.
Okay.
All right. It's been a fun week, though.
That's the word.
And what's really cool is that never have so many leftists loved NASCAR racing more than the leftists this week. Man.
That's a fact.
They can't say enough good things about NASCAR, who completely just caved into everybody's visceral demands. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Confederate flag. I've got no tie to it at all. I wanted the Union to win that. Well, I wasn't there at the time.
Oh, okay.
But I'm pleased that the Union won the war and the United States stayed together and got rid of slavery. So I don't really care about the Confederate flag at NASCAR events. But now, they've been banned on the cars for a long time and on NASCAR paraphernalia. But if a fan wanted to bring one, they let them. Now you can't even do that. NASCAR's statement was, the presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, they want a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans, except the ones who like the Confederate flag. Right. We're not welcoming and don't include them. Okay. The LA Times, speaking of leftists, wrote, the Confederate flag, a symbol for many of slavery and racism and a familiar sight at stock car events for over 70 years, has been banned by NASCAR. Okay, again, the biased journalism, right. So irritating. That statement only tells half the story. It is a symbol for many of slavery and racism. On the other hand, it is also a symbol for many of pride for the South.
Yeah.
And it's a symbol of love of where they came from. A culture where people are friendly and giving. They're charitable. They're religious. The South has its own unique culture, food, landscape. Those are things that they have pride in. It doesn't have anything to do with racism or slavery for many people. But you never hear that.
No.
You never hear that. So to those people who obviously don't matter, NASCAR just spit in their faces. And as the president asked, 5 years ago, where does this all end?
No, George Washington was a slave owner.
Mm-hmm.
Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down? Excuse me. Are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. Mm-hmm. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture.
Thank you.
You had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
There it is.
You had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly.
There's a ton of things there. And one that I wasn't even planning on talking about was that's the speech where he said there were good people on both sides, remember, in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
And then later in the speech, he specifically says,
calls them out.
Not the white nationalists and not the
neo-Nazis.
Neo-Nazis. Yeah. He specifically said not them, the other people. Oh, man. I mean, how many times?
But you know what he meant.
But yes,
you know what he meant.
I
Pat.
do. He meant
don't try to play
not
that.
The Nazis.
Yeah. Okay. I don't care what he said. You know what he meant.
Speaking in code, right?
Mm-hmm. Plus, he was excoriated at the time for saying the preposterous things. What's next? Washington and Jefferson. Well, you tell me. Angela Rye on CNN this week. Here's what she had to say about Washington and Jefferson.
Is it about statues and monuments? I know you saw the interview I did with Corey Stewart, who's trying to run for a Senate seat there in Virginia, and he makes the case that it is about statues and monuments, and everyone's trying to make it about something else.
I think that we have to get to the heart of the problem here, and the heart of the problem is the way in which many of us were taught American history. American history is not all glorious, and even though I love John to death, I couldn't disagree more.
Nobody said that American history is all glorious. Sure, we've made mistakes. And you know who's responsible for the vast majority of those mistakes, especially the egregious ones that she's talking about? Democrats, progressives. All right, let her go.
George Washington. George Washington was a slave owner, and we need to call slave owners out for what they are, whether we think they were protecting American freedom or not. He wasn't protecting my freedom. I wasn't someone my ancestors weren't deemed human beings to him. And so to me, I don't care if it's a George Washington statue or a Thomas Jefferson statue or a Robert E. Lee statue. They all need to come down. There's a way that we can recognize and appreciate. I'm not finished.
You're banning and Trump's talking points.
No, but I'm not, John.
I can't take it anymore.
I'm going to finish.
So there it is. I mean, there's the call for Washington and Jefferson to come down. Can you imagine removing the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, Really? Our society is disintegrating so fast. Our founding fathers are spinning like lathes in their graves so fast that they're going to spin right out of those graves. That the slippery slope argument people talk about is completely obsolete. There's no slope anymore. We're just at the bottom of this hill that we can't climb back out of. We went from Democrats, all of them, saying that they believe marriage is between a man and a woman, and that belief is foundational. It's a rock-solid principle.
The deep-seated cultural codes, religious beliefs, and structural biases have to be changed.
Oh.
As I...
Yeah. Okay, so we went from Hillary. That wasn't the one I was thinking of. She was talking about how it's a deep-seated religious principle.
Bedrock.
And this was, I think, in 2006 or 2008, that marriage between a man and a woman was one of those bedrock principles. We went from there to that. To if you don't support same-sex marriage, you're a bigot and a homophobe, and you don't deserve to hold a job ever again. Within just a few years, we went from people who have gender dysphoria, needing psychiatric help to overcome their mental illness, to men can have periods.
That's right.
Men can have babies if they identify as a female.
Duh.
We went from even Democrats believing that abortions should at least be legal, safe, and rare, and only occur during the first trimester, to, you can abort your baby anytime, anywhere, for any reason.
Doesn't matter.
And even if they're born alive after a failed abortion, you can still kill them. That happened quickly. We went from we need to protect our borders. I don't know if you remember Schumer and Harry Reid saying things like this.
If making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant?
Oh.
No sane country would do that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, but now he thinks a sane country must do that.
He hadn't evolved. Yeah,
he hadn't evolved. Everybody now has a right to be here and receive all the benefits of civil citizenship, no matter what, or no matter where they came from or how they got here. Doesn't matter.
More so, even.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They probably do have more rights than American citizens. And in 1 month, we went from believing protesters were literally killing people, especially black people, and they'd better not turn violent, to, aren't these protests and riots and looting crowds wonderful? Aren't they great? Look how involved they are. That's wonderful. We're having the conversation about race now.
Oh, no. That phrase.
Look at them celebrate their magnificent independence. This is so great. It's wonderful. We went from all of the pundits on the left warning us that, by gosh, these people who want to get out and go back to their jobs are just hideous, horrible people trying to kill others. Listen to this. To it's all great now.
And a far more serious scene. Watch these images. Really just an ugly, dangerous scene at the state capitol in Michigan.
As we look at this extreme group of people,
those pictures and those clashes really show the chaos.
And you're out there with guns.
I don't want to call them rallies. They're not protests.
These quote-unquote protests. I don't even think that's the right word, because protests are supposed to be peaceful.
I'm not embarrassed to say that I was afraid.
It's not clear what they're demanding to infect other people, demanding to make other people sick.
It's dangerous, and these people can take this home with them and hurt their families and all the rest.
I'd like to ask them if they're willing to sign away their right to treatment if and when they get infected.
Who the hell do you think you are? I don't understand what is wrong with people. Stay at home.
Jeez, I can't stand that guy.
I know.
I want to be clear in how I characterize
1 month later, with a fire burning behind him.
It is not, generally speaking, unruly.
Oh.
That ain't a riot, what we're seeing right now in Minneapolis.
Any reasonable person would say we shouldn't be destroying other people's property, but these are not reasonable times.
And please,
Unreal.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite.
Really?
Peaceful.
The beautiful thing is we're seeing citizens who are caring and concerned. They're hitting the streets.
Heartwarming to see so many people
turn out peacefully.
Isn't it?
You know, Brooke, I think this is a march, really.
But as they're coming off, it's peaceful. They're saying peaceful protest.
Across the country, it's bringing people together. Community with unity.
People are risking COVID to explain to this country that we're fed up.
I thought they weren't supposed to. Wow.
That is so
it went from, you're terrible if you want to go back to work, to it's all fine that they're rooting and destroying businesses, most of them black, and they are violent, and they've even seized an American city armed with AK-47s, and that doesn't matter.
Mostly peaceful.
That's all fine. It's mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful.
I don't even want to call it, it's just a protest, really, what's going on. I don't even want to call it a protest. It's more of a love fest.
It's a gathering of the community.
It's a gathering of a love fest and a brain trust of people getting together and noodling out our problems.
With armed guards posted at borders around it.
Exactly. Well, that's because there's some ugly people on the right that would just, start indiscriminately killing these people in our zone. Right? Yeah, they would.
Oh, well,
if they had the chance.
I can understand why you'd want to be armed then.
Exactly. That's why I need my AK-47.
That video is sickening.
That's one of the most, seriously, it's one of the most agonizing I've ever seen. I'm going to keep playing it as often as possible because it illustrates
that's one of those
everything we talk about.
This does not taste good. Here, try this.
Yes.
But you try to paint the looters, right, with this broad brush, but don't forget you're white, so you shouldn't be talking on the issue whatsoever, quite frankly.
But we should have a conversation.
We should have a conversation, though. But you suck if you're white.
A one-sided conversation.
Sure.
You should speak and I should shut up and listen.
Right.
Yeah.
But some people out there are just trying to, get their monies and stuff, just...
Man, period, point blank. Just like all my real ones trying to get some money.
Point blank.
Man, donation, that's it. Trying to get some dough, that's it.
That's it.
Just point blank, that's it,
you got
period.
a problem with him?
No.
What about George Floyd?
No, you feel me? Oh, yeah, well, that too, a little bit of that too, but mostly... I'm just out here with my real ones.
That's my favorite part.
Trying to get some money.
I
wonder what the merch department is supposed to be. Hopefully, making a T-shirt with that phrase on.
Trying to get some monies.
Yeah, they're trying to make a T-shirt with the "trying to get some monies" guy quote on there, because that would be awesome.
By the way, if you'd like to get any of our awesome T-shirts or caps, mugs, shop.blazemedia.com/Pat.
Yes!
Thank you. Good night.
Nice
Drive
job.
safely.
Hello.
Nice job.
All right. Here's something you might not know about dog's food, but you probably do because we've been talking about it for quite a while. The dry kibble stuff, it's not healthy for your dog. It does fill their stomachs, so it does that, but it doesn't have any of the live nutrients that are so important in their diet because everything's killed in the process of sterilizing the food so that it lasts a long time on the shelf. Now, if you want your dog to be really healthy and happy, then try Rough Greens VitaSmart. It's not dog food. It's a supplement. It's a powder that you sprinkle on the food and just mix it in. It contains massive amounts of vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, probiotics, even omega oils and antioxidants, and supports healthy skin and coat for your dog. It improves their digestion, and they love the taste. They love this stuff.
Yeah, I know. I tell you, personally, I don't have any dogs, but my son does, and we actually, they've stayed with us a few times. But I put some Rough Greens on their food.
Oh, you did?
In Austin when they were down there with the new baby. They were tearing it up. I have a picture of actually with the Rough Greens in front of them. They were tearing it up, in love with it. It was like I was amazed.
That is so great.
I was amazed.
Well, it is amazing because even though you hear my dog loves it, Glenn's loves it, Stu's, apparently your son's dogs love it. It's when you see it in practice, it's amazing because it's a little doggy crack that you put on there.
It is. I'm thinking about sprinkling it on my food, to be honest with you.
You should try it and then let me know if you gobble that up.
I will.
Okay. If you don't believe us, just take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge. It's just $14.95, and I really believe you'll see the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. So if you want to see your dog thrive again, act like a puppy again, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's go to Ben in Utah. Hey, Ben, you're on the Blaze. You just caught the spirit of it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben. All right, where did your bingo occur?
Right along the equator.
Mm-hmm. Right down the middle. Starting with Jeffy mentions his website.
Oh.
We
And then trying to get some monies,
Right.
founding fathers, Biden blabbering, and then carry the 1-0.
Perfect. You got it. All right, we're going to give you your choice from shot.theblaze.
No,
shop.blazemedia.com/Pat.
Yeah.
Squiggly line, exclamation point.
All right.
Underscore.
You know what you're going to get, Ben? What T-shirt or anything?
Only if I can hear the sound clip of Cardinal Joe Tobin.
All right.
Nice.
Good choice. Hang on, man. We'll get the information
Oh,
from
you're
you.
just going to leave him hanging there?
Oh, the sound clip
all of a sudden,
Cardinal Joe Tobin.
You just taking requests today for
Yeah.
the screams,
Yeah.
for the
By what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights?
I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
That's great.
There you go. Thanks, man. Hang on. We'll get you fixed up with that. All right. Got this meme here regarding the Confederate flag sent to us by, is it Pixie people? When you encounter a glitch in the Matrix.
It's a black guy holding the Confederate flag and a white guy holding a Black Lives Matter sign.
No doubt.
That is funny.
So good.
That actually happened?
Yeah.
That's not photoshopped.
Maybe
right?
it's
That-
CGI.
No, CGI.
Yeah,
really
CGI.
happened.
I don't.
No, it really happened.
Yeah.
That actually happened.
Okay.
So did this, and this is hard to believe. But Lady Antebellum, pretty big country group,
I love
right?
them.
Been
They're
around
huge. Been a long
for
time.
a long
yeah.
time.
I mean, their first song hit was 07, 08?
Don't know. Don't
Boy.
follow
Love Don't
country
Live
music
Here anymore.
Fan.
Don't follow country, but I know of them.
Their first song was great.
And it was what?
Love Don't Live Here anymore.
Oh yeah,
that's great. Love Don't Live Here.
Love that. Love
Coming
that.
at you.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
All Request Morning Show.
So they're changing their name because Lady Antebellum is offensive to Black Lives Matter somehow.
I mean, how long, Pat? I know you're not a fan of country, but how many years have you said, I can't listen to Lady Antebellum because of Antebellum?
That's exactly why. That was the one country band I would have listened to.
Yes.
Bought all their CDs and stuff, but for the name.
Right.
And
right.
I couldn't get past the name.
Well, what about now? Now that they've changed their name, what's their new name now?
Lady A.
Lady A.
Lady A.
So catchy,
Isn't it?
Now
Right.
can you listen to them since you were so perturbed?
Well, I
that they
think
were.
now I won't understand the music that comes out because I missed the other, all the setup to the music that comes out now.
I wonder what A stands for.
Anuses? Lady
Okay.
anuses?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
Okay. I like that better.
On tour with bare naked ladies now.
There's
apparently.
nothing offensive about that,
No.
right?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, they've already got the Wikipedia changed. It's already changed. Their site is now Lady A instead of Lady Antebellum.
There was not one single person alive who was ever offended by Lady Antebellum's band name.
And I don't think they were either, right? They're trying to find a way to get in the news, and it worked.
We're changing everything, man.
Yes.
The pandering.
Yeah, the pandering from all sides is, and I'm going to use this word, and I'm sick of using it, incredible, because it really is. It's not incredible anymore because everyone is falling to the wayside.
Yeah.
It just, I can't believe it.
Now, all of a sudden, hearing the band name Lady Antebellum is equivalent to being stabbed in the eye.
Should we actually
stabbed directly
dump that
in the
audio
eye.
in there since you just said
Probably.
the word?
I did say it.
I don't even want to say it.
I mean, how often are we going to hear this one coming at you from Lady A, formerly Lady Antebellum?
Oh boy! Oh no! You defeat the whole purpose if that's what you say.
mean, that's old thing.
But they're going to say it all the time because they want them to know that this is a band you like.
Right.
So this is the band formerly known as Lady Antebellum. It's agonizing. If that weren't agonizing enough, now they're coming for Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. Children's cartoon about a squad of canine helpers.
I mean, I've been forced to watch this show.
You've been forced to?
I have been forced to watch this over the years.
I have too, many times.
I was horrified to watch it, to be honest with you.
Really?
Well, I was so pissed that they had a German Shepherd that was a police dog. And the police dog is nice.
Wow.
So kids might get the mistaken impression that there are nice police officers. We've got to take that off the air.
No, you can't.
Can you believe it?
Any first responders from Paw Patrol.
Is this upsetting you that I've got the little
I'm really
Paw Patrol
offended.
finger puppet going?
Yeah.
Jeffy's got the
I've got the little
fireman.
firefighter.
You know.
Wow.
I'm not going into
You
that
want to play?
area.
Here you go. You want to play? Are you jealous? Here. There's a little Paw Patrol finger puppet for you to play with over
Great,
there.
thank you.
So offensive,
Wow.
right? They're going to have to blur these images on the Blaze.
Unbelievable.
It's. I almost said incredible again.
Pat Gray.
I will say one thing about what's going on with this Chaz, this Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, where they've taken over a 6-block radius in Seattle.
And they sell auto parts? Right? Is that right?
Yeah, yes.
Sure.
It's an auto zone.
They do. So we're against this. And if you remember correctly, during the Cliven Bundy situation.
Right.
We were against that. We were against taking up arms so quickly rather than, trying to de-escalate the situation. It was escalated and ramped up very quickly. And man, did the press hate them.
They sure did.
You remember what they thought of Cliven Bundy and that militia that was so violent and armed to the teeth?
Yep.
What a difference.
Huh.
A few years
makes?
and a bunch of leftists makes. Because when a bunch of leftists take it over with
It's
AK-47s,
okay.
not a peep. That's not a problem.
Well, it's a mostly peaceful.
It's mostly it's largely peaceful, just like the Muslim Brotherhood is largely secular.
Secular, right. So when a Democrat is in the White House, then it's an armed insurrection. But when a Republican is in the White House, then it's just peaceful resistance.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think you're starting to get it.
I got it. Oh, boy.
Got some tweets here. This from Brain Damaged Gerbil. I forget what the reference was.
Yeah, you made that
said,
statement.
Yeah. You're
about as smart as a brain-damaged gerbil or something. I don't know.
To that effect. Chaz is now being called Antifa-stan.
Yeah, well.
I love America.
That's true.
Antifa-stan.
I like it.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
Catchy.
Support Bubble Boy. In your support bubble. There's another thing, a term we learned yesterday. Support bubbles. It's okay to get in Britain, you can get into a support bubble now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll tell you about it later. They messed up with their name. They should from here on out be known as Lady AF because they all lost their giblets. Vote for Pedro. Tweets, if America continues down this divided path, how long until a foreign power takes advantage of our weakened state and invades our country?
Yeah, but it's not like they know what's going on over here. They're so far away.
Yeah, right. From the Steve 42, Pat is so cute. He thinks we're at the bottom of this slippery slope hill. LOL. Oh, yeah, it can get worse.
That's not even funny.
A long way to go.
Could get worse, actually.
And fast.
Very.
And fast.
I mean, we were talking about Paw Patrol right before the break and how they're coming after that because they portray police officers in
a good light.
In a good light.
This is for kids. It's a stupid animated show.
Jeez, man. I mean, and also last week, Tom Sharpling, who's the executive producer of Monk, criticized his own show on Twitter. He said, if you, as I have, worked on a TV show or movie in which police are portrayed as lovable goofballs, you've contributed to the larger acceptance that cops are implicitly the good guys.
Wow.
And I guess that's a bad thing. So now we have to assume that cops are implicitly the bad guys.
Bad guy.
That's what I'm inferring from the creator of Monk.
Well, I mean, that's what many in the African American community are saying. Many in the Black Lives Matter movement believe.
Does this mean that when there's a terrorist who's Muslim blows himself up in a school bus, does that mean that all Muslims?
How dare you?
Are inherently evil?
How dare you? Stop with your hateful.
Yeah, I know.
prejudice. I can't think of the words of what describes you right now.
Why is it okay to paint all cops as bad, but you can't do that with any other group?
No, you
certainly can't do that with Muslims, and I don't want to. But I'm just trying to apply the liberal logic to this.
Yes.
And they're supposed to have that sensibility that one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch.
And we've made that point forever. We've made that point forever when we talked about special screening coming into the country. No, we don't think they're all bad, but some of them are, and we'd like to weed them out. It's just I'll stop now. Sorry.
Griffin Newman, an actor who appeared in 2 episodes of Blue Bloods as a detective, donated his $11,000 in earnings to a bail fund.
Oh,
Good
shut
for
up.
you. Inspiring other actors who have played cops to do the same.
Really?
Lego has halted marketing its Lego City Police Station and Police Highway Arrest sets. A&E pulled, of course, its reality show Live PD, which was a huge hit. They pulled that from their schedule.
And again, all these companies,
Cops is
companies
gone.
can do it. I understand it. I don't got no problem with them pulling their shows. It's just the reasoning behind it that's so maddening.
All because they imply that cops are good, and you can't have that. Can you? Can you?
So I guess is Brooklyn Nine-Nine going to go as well?
No, they're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna just they're gonna address the BLM movement.
I'm sorry, that's not enough.
Season.
No,
that's not enough.
Well, they're going to talk about it.
No,
they're gonna have
that's
a conversation.
that's not enough.
No, it's not enough.
Well, what if the non-white characters can talk about it?
It's not enough.
No.
Okay. Really?
Sorry, not enough.
What? Okay, well.
Now, celebrities will show us the way. White celebrities who've been in movies and on television. They will show us the way through all this. And they have, and they're doing it again. And so
I take responsibility.
It's beautiful, actually.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility. I take responsibility.
I take responsibility for every unchecked moment. For every time it was easier to ignore than to call it out for what it was.
Every not so funny joke.
Wow.
Every unfair stereotype.
Yeah.
Every blatant injustice, no matter how big or small.
Every time I remained silent.
Every time I explained away police brutality.
Pause it for a second.
Or turned a blind eye.
You're sad for every time you were silent and every time you were not silent.
Right.
I see.
Right.
Okay. So I'm sorry for all the times I didn't talk, and I'm really sorry for all the times I did talk.
They're taking responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the times I breathed, and I hope for the time when I don't breathe anymore. Because I don't deserve to live because I'm white. All right, let's hear
Every
the rest.
time I explained away police brutality.
Yeah. Did you do that?
Or
really?
turned a blind eye.
Yeah, when does that come?
When did that
a
happen?
conversation about that?
Pause it for a
Black
second.
people.
Remember when we were all saying, hey, don't worry about police brutality. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
In fact, it's really a good thing.
Yes. Don't worry about it.
Remember
Look the
that?
other way.
I remember those. How many shows did we devote to police brutality being good?
And not only that, I remember a simpler time in America known as February 2020. We sat around out here in the middle of the building and just had a discussion where we were trying to explain away police brutality. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah, I think that was a 6-hour special we did on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get
I
through this.
take responsibility.
I freaking hate Julia.
Black people are being slaughtered in the streets, killed in their own
slaughtered
homes.
in the
These
streets,
are our
killed in their
brothers
own
and
home.
sisters, our friends, our family.
Uh-huh.
We are done watching them die.
We're done.
We are no longer bystanders.
Nope.
We will not be
Put the
idle.
teleprompter over the camera.
Enough is enough.
I will no longer allow an unchecked moment.
You won't allow it.
I will no longer allow racist, hurtful words,
Unchecked
jokes,
moment.
stereotypes, no matter how big or small, to be uttered in my presence.
What will you do?
I will not
Pause it for a
turn
second.
this-
What will you do, Stanley, if somebody does utter something in your presence? What are you going to do? Are you going to beat them to death? Are you going to shoot them in the face?
Probably.
What are you going to do?
Probably. It's 2020, man.
No, we'll have a conversation.
Or he'll leave.
But you're white, so you're not allowed
We'll
to.
have a conversation.
Or he'll set their place on fire.
Oh, right.
And burn it to the ground because they deserve it. And then he'll find their business and he'll destroy that too.
Right.
Then he'll dox them online. You'll know their
Yeah.
phone number.
So that their family can also be killed.
Yeah.
Because none of them deserve to live. Then we'll dig up his ancestors.
Wait, and what did he do?
And kill them, too.
Kill them.
We'll kill them.
He participated in an unchecked moment?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yes.
Crime.
Let's see if we can get through this thing.
We can't.
No matter how big or small, to be uttered.
What if they're in the middle?
I will not turn a blind eye.
Oh, good for you.
Going for a jog should not be a death sentence. Sleeping in your own home should not be a death sentence.
Playing video games with your nephew should not be a death sentence.
Shopping in a store should not be a death sentence.
No, that's right.
Business as usual should not be life-threatening.
Yeah.
Right.
That what he
I
said.
stand against hate.
I stand against hate.
I stand
against hate. I
hate.
stand against hate.
Curveball.
I will stand against hate in love. I will make my presence known.
And killer cops must be prosecuted. They are murderers.
They are.
Yeah, well,
by the way.
they're being prosecuted.
It is time to take responsibility. Call out hate.
Whisper to me,
Step
baby.
up and take action.
I just want to punch him right in the face.
Right.
Is that bad? I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you're supposed to be standing up against hate. And that
I
didn't feel
take
like you did
responsibility.
that.
I take responsibility. Sorry.
Oh, Hollywood.
What a melodramatic bunch of bull crap.
But it was effective with the repeat and the repeat
Yes,
and the repeat.
that
right?
worked
As
so
you
well.
Pointed out.
And most of them were almost believable.
In this video, you will believe the people.
Oh, let's see.
Who are in it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What do you got?
Check this out. We're no strangers to moving fast, and we know how life can have that same quality.
But now
is the time to slow down. Slow down.
Slow down.
Slow down.
And repeat.
And repeat.
Repeat.
Everything.
Everything.
The last person said.
The last person said.
Because this
Is the way progressives express themselves now.
express themselves.
Express themselves now.
Now.
Stupid. Okay.
Now. Thank you. Thank you. No. Thank you.
Thank you.
No. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's so
We
stupid.
care. I mean, we care.
We care. We do.
I take responsibility.
Because we care. We care.
Care.
Oh, yeah.
We
I care.
Care.
We care.
No, it's a
I'm
collective,
sorry.
man. Don't be going out on a limb by yourself here.
Let me take 60 seconds to tell you about Gabby Insurance, because we're all looking for ways to save money, right? Especially now. When was the last time you looked at how much you're spending every month on car insurance, on homeowners insurance? Well, now is the time to check out Gabby and see about getting a lower rate on the exact same coverage you already have. This is so convenient, so fast, so easy. Just go online. And Gabby takes all the pain out of shopping for insurance by giving you an apples-to-apples comparison of your current coverage. You just give them the information, and they find a better rate for you. And at the same, the same kind of plan you have at a better rate. So just link your current insurance account, and in about 2 minutes, you'll be able to see the quotes for the exact same coverage that you currently have. It's fantastic. And they never sell your info. So you're not going to get any annoying spam or robocalls from it. It's totally free to check your rate, and there's no obligation. Just takes 2 minutes right now to see how much you can save on your car and homeowners insurance. Go to Gabi.com/unleashed. GABI.com/unleashed. It's Gabi.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Oh, we're finding out, too, that racism is killing the planet.
Oh, come on.
I thought it was climate change.
I don't know just whatever. The planet just die already, man. There's so many ways that you're apparently susceptible.
Has climate change empowered the racism, or is racism
Yes, it's the cause of the...
Yeah, the Sierra Club's going to tell us exactly what it is.
Oh, good. The ideology of white supremacy leads the way toward disposable people and a disposable natural world.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
I can't follow this, man.
It's so ridiculous.
So what is it?
Okay, so you can't have climate change without sacrifice zones, and you can't have sacrifice zones without disposable people, and you can't have disposable people without racism. That's how
Boom.
it all ties in.
That's a mic drop by the Sierra Club right there.
Booyah.
Sacrifice
Enough
zone.
said.
Well, that's obviously, Jeffy, a geographic area that has been permanently impaired by environmental damage or economic disinvestment.
And I can't have that without disposable people.
Right.
Huh.
Wait, let's talk about a place that's economically depressed. It's all of these city centers that you've just destroyed through looting.
Yeah, and by the way, has anybody noticed all of those city centers are controlled by, I don't know, Democrats? Even Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
The mayor is a Democrat. City council are Democrats.
Has been for a long time.
Houston, Texas, Democrats.
Chaz, Democrats.
Seattle as a whole, Democrats. Washington State, Democrat. Detroit, Democrat.
Minneapolis,
St. Paul, Democrats. New York City and New York State, Democrats. Baltimore, Democrats. New Orleans, Democrat. Are you getting a sort of a vibe here?
Yeah. And don't forget the fun fact that John Lott, the gun expert, taught us. You know, our crime stats in America are so terrible because of these big cities controlled by Democrats with these overbearing gun control laws. They don't work. And that's where the hot spots
so
are
I
for crime.
everybody should be armed.
And that's where the hot spots are.
Without those couple of big cities, New Orleans, Chicago, I think those two, maybe DC. What was it in
St. Louis, probably?
In the book Control? We would actually be like 22nd or something as far as a violent nation, something like that. There's a great graph in there that comes to mind right now. Yeah, but there's just, they're great places. These Democrat-controlled cities for generation after generation. Here we are.
And
somehow it's all blamed on Republicans. I don't know how that's...
Well, it's President Trump.
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah, but Trump.
And before that, Bush. Yeah, but Bush.
Yeah.
And, all of the stupid stuff Obama did never even got reported.
Well, what I think every city needs is an elite bike squad, like the city of Miami has, as we learned last week. You remember those guys when they're in action? Watch this.
You didn't mention Miami.
This is precision like you've never seen it before.
Move back.
Move back. Watch this precision. Whoop! Look at oh, wow. Wow.
Look how tough we are.
That guy is not
incredible.
Good.
He's the leader guy, man.
No, that's an elite bike.
Oh yeah, elite.
Well, not as elite as this group of bike cops that were chasing down a bad guy. Watch this. Let's stop. Remember, they learned that formation. And then this guy.
Dude.
Is this the same
that
group?
Is not Miami, is it?
That looks like the same.
It does, but
like fanny packs and everything.
That might have been the group that was behind them, like the second team. That can't be
so
the
the
first
JV team is.
This can't be the first team.
This is why you need cars.
It does look like the first team.
It does.
Though, doesn't it?
Same color bikes, same fanny pack.
Most cities now have their bicyclist cops.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they're the Miami elite though. So, do you have bicycle cops anymore in your city? I don't know. If you allow that.
I don't think you can.
Because Fort Worth does. Fort Worth. I'm going to have to find out if Fort Worth is still allowing that.
No, this is a new age, man. I don't see a bike cop chasing down a looter.
I'd be fearful to be on a bike in one of those cities.
I'd be fearful to be a police officer in any of those cities.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know.
Especially now. I just don't know how you can. Who wants that job now? Who wants it? No matter what they do.
Thank you for doing it, bud.
Yeah. Yes, from the bottom of our hearts.
Well, they're all so terrible. You're not insinuating that they're good people and that you should care about them, right?
No, I'm not. No.
Have we learned anything, sir?
I hope we have. I hope we've learned that all cops are bad. Wow. What is that? What is it? ACAB or something? All cops are bastards.
Oh, really?
Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah. Hey, that's the new thing with, I don't know, they're chanting in the streets.
Good.
Hey, cab.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Isn't that beautiful?
So you're like a big fan of Paw Patrol, aren't you?
No.
Okay.
No.
You better get it right, man.
That's an evil show. So, all right. What we need to do is tear down all police statues, board up all the precincts.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know,
It's a start to the conversation, I guess.
it's not enough to tear down the Confederate statues. We need to tear down all statues.
All statues need to go.
Do you know that they defaced a statue in Philadelphia? Do we have the video of protesters?
No, there's no picture.
There's a picture of this guy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, there's a picture.
There we go.
And there he is. That is Matthias Baldwin. Terrible person.
Terrible.
Right.
Terrible person.
Oh, is he the guy that in 1835 donated money to establish a school for African American children in Philadelphia? And,
Yeah.
And then he continued to pay the teachers' salaries out of his own pocket for years thereafter.
And he was an abolitionist. Yeah.
Outspoken supporter.
Before abolitionism was cool. by the
30
way.
years before.
But did he get anything done? No.
I'll tell you what.
Deface his statue.
You want to know what happened to him?
Tear it
His
down.
business rivals used the fact that he was an abolitionist against him, and he still kept fighting to free slaves.
No wonder they defaced his
You're
statue.
right. Yeah.
Bastard.
I mean, seriously.
It doesn't matter. You know, the history, nobody,
Doesn't
they
matter.
don't know it anyway. They, as in the protesters.
But could they take
don't know
5
it.
seconds to just look at the plaque in front of the statue that they're going to deface?
Nope. No.
I mean, they did that to the black soldiers from the Civil War. They did it to
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Oh, so you want me to believe the lies on the plaque in front of the statue? Is that what you're... No.
you're right.
Yeah, you can't
No.
trust any of that.
I'm
the
sorry.
man put that
Thank you.
statue and the plaque there. So you can't
Oh,
trust the
okay.
man.
I believe you.
Right? Now
It's
check
gotta
this
come
out. A warning though. This is a little graphic. They
Oh,
pulled,
yes,
they
yes.
pulled down a statue that probably should come down.
Careful here. If you're watching at home.
But they had a little mishap while they were pulling
There's
it
a
down.
protester on the ground. He's below the statue. It's going to fall on him. He's in the green shirt. Oh, this is very rough, guys.
Look out below. Ooh.
Oh!
He's in a medically induced coma now, and part of his skull was showing after
Yeah, no
that.
kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Those statues are a tad heavy.
Yeah, that
Especially
one
when they're granite. When they're granite.
made out of granite. Yep.
Yeah. That's not like a plastic cup landed on him.
I mean,
Oof.
I want to feel bad for that person.
Well, he shouldn't have been doing there. He shouldn't have been there doing that. But yeah, you don't want that to happen.
I think Jeffy finished his thought in total.
No, thank you.
Oh, man. And then, of course, we had the call that we played earlier for you from CNN, from one of their spokespeople, one of the people
They
they
want 'em
always
all down.
turn
They want 'em all down.
to for
Doesn't
black
matter.
issues. They want Washington and Jefferson down, just like they want Robert E. Lee torn down.
Oh, yeah.
Just like President Trump predicted a couple of years ago.
Exactly like that.
But boy, it's a fun era right now that we're living through. We are living through history, but we're learning new words along the way as well, which is really fun, right? I mean, you got new
You've got
phrases.
these new phrases that we've had for a while, like social distancing, which I'm a fan of. Flatten the curve. We're all in this together.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The new normal. Dr. Fauci.
I don't want to hear that name again.
And support bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
Which we just got yesterday.
I love the cartoon that was sent our way, the Family Circus cartoon. He said new normal.
So I knocked him on his little commie ass. Really funny.
Good stuff.
And
I just don't remember seeing that cartoon in the paper.
Watch for that cartoonist to be banned for life and all of his cartoons eliminated from newspapers all over the country.
There aren't any
Yeah, you
newspapers
can't do
anymore.
that.
So.
Oh, that's right.
So.
All right, have a great weekend, if it's possible. We'll see you Monday.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.